Hey, can we accumulate some more draft capital, get some more guys either in this draft, picks in the following draft, and we could still maybe get one of the tackles. Maybe you could have Memba would have gone, but Banks would have been there. Or hey, the Saints always loved Banks. We thought, Panthers weren't going tackle. Can we pick up an extra 3 and still get Memba at 10? Like those are the conversations I think the Jets were having. So all things considered, I really liked the approach on night one. I thought they read the board well. They probably were comfortable. Membu, Warren, Banks, one of the 3 of those guys will get either at 7 or at 10 or 11, wherever we trade back. If we do that, if not, we stay put. We love the player. We'll take him. Membu's a top 10 player in the class. Banks I would probably have had more in the top 15 range, but you could argue he's a top 10 player too. And obviously I think we all agreed Warren was in that range too. So I guess all in all, my point being the way they started the process on night one was they addressed the need. They addressed it with a damn good player. And on top of that, I had heard, I think I'm sure this got reported, but Membu, I think, he had ended up leaving the Senior Bowl early, and it was a bit of, I don't think anyone was like particularly happy about that. Not just the Jets. I think league-wide people were like, what the fuck? Like, where'd this guy go? Measured it and dipped, which happens. Agents get word of these guys going higher than they maybe need to, and they kind of say, we're good. Point being, he had 2 separate calls with the Jets, 45-minute Zooms, and absolutely dominated from everything they said. Like, was unbelievable, blew them out of the water, and it was like, this is our guy. So I'm happy with the Membu pick now, in hindsight, knowing what they were able to do in round 2.
So my hypothesis for night 2, and this could be completely unfounded, is that the Jets were thrilled to get Mason Taylor where they got him. Fine. They checked the box at tight end. I think both you and I like that pick among the most of anyone in the wider Badlands community. I think in round 3, they wanted Kyle Williams. They were planning to take Kyle Williams. Their fallback, they were perfectly fine with their fallback plan because they were shocked to see Thomas there and they probably thought he was a top 50 player. So they had a good plan B in place where they're like, we were probably going to go offense, get the receiver. Fine with Thomas because of the value and because I do think within a season and a half, he's going to be a starter. And I think he'll be a long-term starter here and is a perfect fit for what Glenn does. And I don't think it's out of bounds that Connor said it was his favorite pick at all. What and I'm sure yourself and others didn't like is it seemed like the immediate plan B at receiver was Arian Smith, who we knew they liked. They brought him for a visit. It's not surprising at all that they took him. We planned the guide accordingly. I just think they got jumpy after Williams went and they said, all right, like this is the other speed guy we like. We're just going to take him in 4 and not risk waiting till round 5. That's sort of the only part of the board that I think got a little haywire because ultimately I liked what they did with Malachi Moore.